Alright, all you streetlight crusaders, and I guess a couple of you wrestling fans who are still up for tonight, welcome back to the Tuesday Night Special. And now it's time for us to talk about what happened during this week's edition of Monday Night Raw from the Thunderdome in Orlando, Florida. And if my memory serves me correct, this would be the first Monday Night Raw inside the Thunderdome. And for confirmation on that, folks, Monday Night Raw would kick off with none other than the Scottish Terminator himself, Drew McIntyre, testing out the pyrotechnics, his entrance music, and the energy inside the room of the Thunderdome, or arena of the Thunderdome, where fans would give him a supporting thumbs up about him being the world champion, and also would go ahead into what happened last night at SummerSlam by not only saying that he was able to beat Randy Orton with a wrestling move after Randy Orton was involved in one of the greatest wrestling matches ever. Still think that was a terrible tagline for that match at Backlash, but either way, Drew McIntyre would say, with me beating you with a wrestling move and you calling yourself the greatest wrestler of all time, what does that make me? And then would even give Randy Orton another shot at the WWE Championship at Payback and would say, this time, I'm gonna actually kick your bloody head off. And after making such a brash and bold statement to the Viper, or the Legend Killer, what he calls himself as of late, Drew McIntyre would make his way up the ramp and then celebrate with the WWE Championship amongst the Thunderdome until lightning would strike him right in the back of the head in the form of Randy Orton, knocking him down to the ground, beating the ever-living bejesus out of him, for Drew McIntyre to try to get the advantage, only for a thumb to go into his eye just like it did at SummerSlam last night, for Randy Orton to take the advantage by kicking him in the head not once, but twice, while security was standing right there, kicked him in the head twice, proving to me once again that security for WWE is horrible. And after getting kicked in the head twice, Drew McIntyre would shake it off and make his way backstage to look for Randy Orton. But before we could figure out what would happen with that, folks, next thing you would see to take place on Monday Night Raw would be the first match of the night, seeing Bayley going one-on-one against Shayna Baszler. But prior to this match taking place, we would see the return of Nia Jax, who all she had to do was apologize to Pat Buck backstage to come back to Monday Night Raw, which she did. And would she play a role during this match? Well, of course she would, because despite Shayna Baszler hitting a nasty pump tiger knee into the corner to Bayley, and Bayley countering with not only a suplex but a little help from outside due to Sasha Banks, next thing you know, when Shayna Baszler tried to make her way back inside the ring, you would see none other than Nia Jax, who was already at ringside, or at least on the upper part of the ramp, pulling out Shayna Baszler and trying to beat the crap out of her for the referee to have no choice but to call a disqualification in favor of the Queen of Spades. And then after that disqualification, Nia Jax would try to pick up Shayna Baszler, only for her to do a snapmare, because Shayna Baszler just don't care, to Nia Jax impressing not only Samoa Joe but everybody at commentary, and even Sasha Banks and Bayley, who was watching this all go down. But the second the action would get back inside the ring, Nia Jax would get right back on the offensive and clothesline the hell out of Shayna Baszler during this little miniature altercation, all to the delight of the Golden Role Models, only for Nia Jax to switch her focus and go immediately after Bayley and Sasha Banks for them to pull off the enemy of my enemy is my friend moment to wrap up that little fight. And then it would be announced later on tonight, folks, if you think that was ridiculous, that it will be the team of Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax teaming up to fight against the Golden Role Models for the Raw or SmackDown Women's Tag Team Championships at Payback. Yeah, all the tag teams they have in the women's division currently, the Iconics, the Riot Squad, even Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, but Team Hodgepodge is gonna get a shot at the tag team championships. Boy, I wonder how that's gonna work out. But besides that little moment that was followed up with a little backstage altercation between the two, besides them calling each other ugly earlier in the night by saying, oh, as long as you follow my lead, we'll win the belts. And Nia Jax was the one who said that, only for Shayna Baszler to respond back to slap the living daylights out of Nia Jax. And once again, like I said, boy, I wonder how that match is gonna work out for them to win those belts. And the next thing to take place on Monday Night Raw would be another episode of the KO show, which would see none other than a returning Aleister Black back after a month after what happened to him, what Murphy did to him by trying to gouge his eye out. And would see him wearing a somewhat reminding me of Kenshi from Mortal Kombat band around the eye that almost got taken out by Murphy. And Aleister Black, who looked not only shaken but also rich with anger, would show his anger after Kevin Owens would show the clip of what happened to him about a month ago, and then would see him drop down to one knee only to pull off a spinning back fist to the face of Kevin Owens, and then a black mass in response to the hospitality that Kevin Owens gave him during the KO show by just asking him, what's been going on with you for the past month? I know how it is to deal with Seth Rollins and Murphy. I'm trying to go a different pathway from what I used to be back in the day, so I'm here to help you, only for his help to be kicked right out of him with a black mask like we said before. So yeah, Aleister Black with one eye, very, very dangerous. And speaking of dangerous situations, folks, the next match to take place on Monday Night Raw would be a fatal 4-way match for the 24/7 championship, which would see none other than R-Truth, Cedric Alexander, Akira Tozawa, all going against the champion himself, Shelton Benjamin. And during this fatal 4-way match with action aplenty, next thing you know, you would see R-Truth trying to hit his scissor kick to try to take out the 24/7 champion, only for him missing by a Kentucky Mile, only for Akira Tozawa to try to take advantage by pulling off a Hurricane Rana, only to get caught with a nasty power bomb to the outside of the ring, only for the ninjas to catch him, and for Akira Tozawa to knock out Shelton Benjamin outside of the ring and go right after R-Truth for that pinfall to become a 4-time 24/7 champion via pinfall. And not to mention the ninjas who ended up grabbing Shelton Benjamin to prevent him from breaking up the pinfall would all get knocked out silly on the outside of the ring for Akira Tozawa to abandon the ninjas and just run away. Seriously, he left his ninjas behind and ran out of the building saying, I gotta go once again. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Cannon fodder ninjas on Monday Night Raw. I never thought I'd say that. And the next match to take place on Monday Night Raw would see none other than Montez Ford going one-on-one against Angel Garza. Now, prior to this match, folks, we would see none other than Demi Burnett once again out at ringside with Angel Garza after a little bit of a backstage altercation with Charlie Caruso and Zelina Vega, who still was being questioned about the fact that she poisoned Montez Ford for her to still say, like Shaggy would in one of his classic songs, "It wasn't me." But everybody saw her, and apparently Angel Garza would say, even though she got caught, and then she would still deny allegations of poisoning him. But nevertheless, folks, after bringing Demi Burnett to the ring, thinking that would be his good luck charm, it would come back to haunt Angel Garza during this match, because Ivar would come out during the better portions of this said contest, and would then take away Demi Burnett by giving her a turkey leg. And after she was being taken away, next thing you know, you would see Angel Garza saying, "Hey, stop that, come back here." only for none other than Montez Ford, who was knocked through a loop during this match, to get back up on his feet, fight Angel Garza on the top rope to win the exchange, and pull off another very impressive 180 from the Heavens Frog Splash to make Angel Garza a two-time loser, this time inside of the ring as well as outside of the ring, for Montez Ford to win this match via pinfall. So yeah, folks, not a good night for Angel Garza. And what Samoa Joe said that he doesn't have plans later on tonight, he better hope he wins this match, probably one of the funniest moments of tonight on Monday Night Raw. And I guess with that said, folks, we might as well head back into the music, and when we return, we'll be back with the second half of what happened during this week's edition of Monday Night Raw from the Thunderdome in Orlando, Florida, right after this. So don't go anywhere just yet, folks, and stay tuned.